I always figured if I ever got arrested on the job, it would be for something heroic, maybe tackling a shoplifter or setting a world record for fastest burrito roll. Not for refusing to give a stranger free gas. But at exactly 9:42 a.m., on a sleepy Thursday morning, there I was, behind the counter at Brooks Fuel Stop, watching a woman with a "Freedom Isn't Free" bumper sticker scream into her phone that she was being held hostage by a minimum wage worker with a bad attitude. When the dispatcher asked if she was in immediate danger, she shrieked, "He's denying my human rights," loud enough to make two customers duck for cover behind the chips display. That's how it all started. One entitled woman, one gas pump, and one very bad decision. It exploded into a sheriff call, a Facebook Live disaster, and one of the most absurd days of my life. It started like every other slow burn morning shift. My best friend and coworker, Lila, was juggling 2 cups of burnt coffee while narrating each customer's entrance like she was calling a baseball game. The place smelled like scorched rubber and stale nacho cheese, just part of the charm. Thursdays were cursed. We both agreed. It was like the local weirdos waited until just after rush hour to make their grand appearances. I was restocking the gum rack when a battered silver minivan screeched across 2 handicap spots out front. Lila poked her head out from the stockroom, eyes lighting up. $5 says this one asks if the air pump is free, she muttered. I grunted. Out of the van stepped a woman in her mid-50s, dragging an enormous faux designer purse. She had that look as if sunglasses pushed onto her head, phone out and recording, lips tight like she was clenching a lemon between her teeth. She marched inside like a drill sergeant. Pump 3. Fill it. Full tank. No greeting. No, please. No money. I blinked. Sure. Just as soon as you pay. She looked at me like I'd insulted her ancestors. Excuse me? I'm a loyal customer. I always fill up and pay later. Lila let out a snort disguised as a sneeze. I gave the woman my most professional smile. Yeah, that's not a thing. It's card or cash first. Station policy. Her face flushed with fury. She whipped out her phone. This man is refusing to serve a woman in need. This is discrimination. Mrs. Burke, our morning regular, leaned on the counter and muttered, "Discrimination against dumb isn't illegal, sweetheart." Ignoring her, the woman kept filming. You just wait. You have no idea who you're messing with. Actually, I think I do, Lila called sweetly from the coffee machine. Then she stomped outside. Andy, kid you not, called 911. Through the window, we saw her pacing like a general rallying her troops, waving her arms dramatically. Lila popped gum in her mouth. $10 says it's deputy marshal on duty. And he gives her the speech. The speech? The Karen sit-down. Classic. Less than 10 minutes later, a sheriff's cruiser pulled in. Out stepped Deputy Rick Marshall. Sunglasses on, mouth set in that "not today" line. Karen ran up, screeching, pointed at me, cried. Theatrics worthy of a daytime Emmy. Rick wandered inside, tipped an invisible hat to Mrs. Burke and gave me a weary nod. Busy morning? You have no idea. He held up one finger and headed back out. We pressed our noses to the window, watching her mime being handcuffed, clutch her chest. Rick just stood there, arms crossed, nodding occasionally. Finally, Karen screamed something, spun on her heel, and sped off, tires screeching. Rick returned, shaking his head. You guys should start charging admission. Lila leaned in. She really call 911 over gas? Said she was being economically oppressed. Mrs. Burke laughed so hard she dropped her scratch-offs. I knew then Karen wasn't done. Not even close. 15 minutes later, she returned. This time she brought reinforcements. A second minivan decorated with flags and Justice for Karen signs. Out came 3 women in matching Mama Bears United shirts. Each carried a protest sign. One had a selfie stick. Oh my God, Lila whispered. She brought a flash mob. Karen burst in with a clipboard. I am filing a formal complaint. I have witnesses. I have video proof. I have a right to service. I took a deep breath. Ma'am, you refused to pay. We can't pump gas without payment. It's policy. Her eyes burned. This is discrimination. You saw my car, my beliefs. You refused to serve me because of them. Lila muttered. She thinks capitalism is a hate crime. Karen turned back to her squad. He admits it. Discrimination. They hooped, like we were on a game show. Moments later, Rick was back. Slower this time. Karen shoved her phone in his face. I demand a citizen's arrest. Rick blinked. He refused service? Yes. Did you pay? Karen puffed up. No. That's not the point. Rick sighed. Ma'am, you want him arrested for not giving you free gas. It's about principles. And I'm issuing a citation for misusing 911. You leave, or I start adding more. She stormed out. Her army followed, but not before uploading her dramatic video, titled Assaulted at Brooks Fuel Stop. Within hours, it had over 100 shares, split between supporters and locals posting laughing emojis. I figured it would die down, but as I drove home, there she was, parked across the street, watching. The next morning, I arrived to find a glitter marker sign taped to our door. Boycott Brooks. Justice for Karen. Lila grinned. You're famous. Half the town's feed is just Karen memes. We watched her live stream across the street. Still protesting. Still yelling. By noon, 2 fake consumer protection agents arrived with badges printed from Google. Lila handed them a corporate complaint form requiring a ceremonial duck dance. They left. Then Marty arrived, our boss. Red-faced. Fix this, he snapped. Or you're suspended. It hit like a good punch. She was winning. I slumped behind the counter. Lila sat beside me. You know, she said. If Karen wants war, maybe it's time we gave her one. We wouldn't stoop to her level. We'd outclass it. Step 1? Invite the mayor. Lila had connections. An hour later, Mayor Jordan Hayes arrived, all silver hair and steely poise. Karen sprinted toward him, clipboard flapping. She ranted. Jordan smiled politely. Didn't you try to sue the farmers market over tomato prices last year? And cancel Santa because he was government propaganda? The crowd laughed. Folks, he said, this station has served us for decades. This isn't about discrimination. It's about someone who thrives on conflict. Applause. Karen's supporters faded. She stormed off one final time. Marty showed up later, sheepish. He handed me a $50 bill. For the trouble, he mumbled. Later, Lila and I sat outside, sipping sodas. We should hold an award show, she said. Best meltdown. Best dramatic performance. Best fake investigators, I added. We toasted. Karen was gone. For now. But we were ready if she ever came back.